Last spring I took on the task of creating a new garden bed, mostly because the number of dahlia tubers I had outgrew the existing space. After seeking help on a Facebook garden group, I began the job of laying out the shape I wanted after many iterations. Like with most things, it quickly became a larger project. I put pen to paper and planned out where the plants would go. I had my map. This is so important to have a vision, as it will help plan out what plants are needed and to minimize rework. I did have to dig out some shorter plants in the other garden beds and relocate them. The best time to start a project like this is in early spring, when the ground is soft and easier to dig. Your hands and back will thank you. I was reclaiming the space from my front garden lawn, which gets great afternoon sun. My method? No dig, no till. Easy peasy, right? I've done this method before and on smaller beds, like the corner fence you see here, and in my backyard, and it worked really well for me. This was just on a bigger scale. I would definitely suggest starting small and then ramping up so it's not so overwhelming. I used garden edging, but I realized it's not necessary. It was helpful to see the shape though before I committed, but a garden hose could do that. I also decided to turn the turf over because I had so much lawn. I didn't want to spend too much time pulling out stray bits of grass that would for sure grow up in the beds. After laying down the edging, I tackled the grass one section at a time, using an edger to carve out strips of grass and then roll it over. Who knew grass was so heavy? I found digging both sides of the strip to cut under it made it easier to loosen the grass. I would then flip the turf upside down. By doing it this way, it leaves all of the worms and microorganisms underneath as undisturbed as possible. Now that it's all prepped, I added stepping stones in the garden so I could get access to the plants without packing down the soil while I tended the garden. The next step for me was to lay out my planting plan again and make any changes. Now for the fun part, planting. I grew many of the plants from seeds or tubers indoors in the early spring, and I couldn't wait to get them out of the house and into the garden. I also had pre-ordered some plants as well. I would dig the holes, amend the soil, and then mulch around the plant, and check the plant again. This project took about a month, working on it for a couple of hours every day. I might have lost feeling in my fingers at one point with all the turf work, but it was so satisfying once it was finished. These are some of the plants I put in. It will take a little time for them to fill out, but that's the joy of gardening, right? Finally, it was all done. From an idea to digging and then planting, I could now sit back and let Mother Nature take over while I watched the garden grow. Well, not really, as you know, there's fertilizing, weeding, watering. This spring, there's the boulevard space that's asking to be planted. Thanks for watching.